Hey, this is the Review Junkie, and today I'll be reviewing the new horror suspense film, Tarot. As always, my review will be illustrated and the artwork is done by myself. And if you like movies, art, and comic books, please hit that subscribe button because all my reviews are hand-drawn, and I'd like to get to 1,000 subscribers soon so my channel can be official. This movie stars Harriet Slater, Adane Bradley, Jacob Batalon, Avantika, Humberly Gonzalez, and Wolfgang Novogratz. It is co-written and co-directed by Spencer Cohen and Anna Helberg. This is a non-spoiler review, so everything I discuss will have been shown in the trailer. Absolutely no spoilers. I'll tell you briefly about the plot, the characters, my pros and cons, final thoughts, and if this is worth checking out at your local movie theater. Alright, I'm not even going to try and hide it. When I saw this trailer, I was like, hell to the no! Okay? Another generic slasher horror trying to cash in. But this actually isn't that bad. It's actually one of the better horror offerings so far in 2024. I would definitely say this is better than Imaginary and Night Swim, and feel free to check out those reviews on my channel as well. So the plot involves a group of young teens in college, but between us, none of them look like they're in college unless this is their fourth bachelor's degree or they've been in law school for 10 years and still didn't graduate. You know, some people just love having multiple degrees. Okay? Okay. So they're up in the Catskills for a weekend getaway, and while roaming around in the rented house, they stumble upon a room with tons of junk, including an old box with tarot cards inside. Ironically, one of the kids, Haley, played by Harriet Slater, is into astrological science, and I think she's even studying it or taking a class on it in school. So for fun, she decides to read everyone's fortune. Of course, ancient cards in a dusty box are never civil. So it has to be evil and cursed with something trapped inside, right? So something sinister gets unleashed when she does everyone's tarot reading, and a sequence of bizarre things start to happen. Quickly, the group of friends start to dwindle one by one in the sequence of the tarot card readings, and the remaining ones left standing have to figure out how to save their fate. So it's rare a PG-13 horror film can deliver, but this one actually was able to keep my interest for the most part, and it had an adequate amount of scares and was even able to create a tense atmosphere. Yeah, the premise is not the most inventive thing ever because we've seen this many times before. There won't be any character development, right? And nobody's going to have a full story arc, right? And all I ask before I walk out the theater is to please entertain me. But all the goodness and momentum here comes crashing down during the third act, and I'll get to that in a moment. So the first thing that I liked is the lead, Harriet Slater, because I found her to be believable and she gives a good performance here. She's in an odd situation and pulls off what is needed when one finds themselves in this bizarre scenario. She's likable and it translated well on screen. You know, with these smaller horror films, there's always questionable acting by unknown actors. Okay? Okay. Now, if you're a fan of Jacob Batalon from the Spider-Man films, you'll be happy because he has a decent amount of scenes and he's really here for comedic relief, but I think we all expected that. Next, I did find the premise to be interesting, and I think the director and screenwriters took advantage of that to really bring some inventive jump scares and moments that made me squirm in my seat. So each of the tarot cards have images of strange-looking characters on it, and we get to see that brought to life as the kills happen, and some of the kills actually go on for some time. It's not a quick 5-second shot and suddenly it's on to the next thing. It was brutal torture, and I found myself covering my mouth for a lot of them. So my favorite thing here is the introduction of a certain character named Alma, and she provides context about the tarot cards, and the lore was fascinating. We even get a dedicated scene versus a meaningless exposition, and the reveal really amped things up heading into the third act. Now, the biggest flaw is the third act, and it's so unfortunate because the first two acts were on an upward trajectory and I was intrigued. But once we get to the last 20 minutes, everything comes tumbling down. We have the amazing reveal of the tarot cards and why strange things are happening to these specific group of friends, and what should have been a massive finale to have the audience gasping ends up being a small whimper and a damn dud. I don't know if it was a budget thing, a script writing issue, but it didn't deliver in line with my expectations. We got anything but gasping. And it also ends with this hint we may get a sequel because something odd happens to one of the characters, and and the explanation provided seemed a bit fishy. So this brings me to my final thoughts, and this gets a 6 out of 10 from me. This was a decent horror entry for 2024, and I think with a bigger budget and some more thoughtful consideration given to the finale, along with an R rating, could have really made this movie a home run. If you're a fan of slasher horrors and need your dose of jump scares, then I would definitely recommend you check this out. This is a big green light from me and definitely something to see on the big screen where it's meant to be seen. So thank you again for checking out my review. If you like, please subscribe, helps the channel out a lot. Hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share this with your friends. And if you happen to have a movie you'd like me to review, please let me know. I'd be happy to watch and illustrate it for a future video. Thanks again, and I hope the pictures put a smile on your face.